What's up, guys? Brett here with Simba Stock. So obviously a crazy week in the market this week as we had the presidential election come to a close. Now we had allegations of voter fraud and ballots being printed and fake ballots being added to the batches in different states and XYZ really coming out left and right. This was the first time pretty much that we've seen a delay in the elections and a recount being asked by obviously Trump's administration of all of the votes in a lot of these swing states. And it was hard to believe, even I thought it was pretty hard to believe at least, that some of these states did end up having a very, very close call, even some of them ending up blue. So we're gonna go over the technicals, how the market took it. Why is the market up this week with Trump not winning? A lot of people thought stonks only go up with Trump, right? Biden's in, sharp drop. Doesn't seem to be the case. And there's one key reason why. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. All right, guys, so let's look at the technicals now. Now, to be honest, guys, I actually recorded that intro on Sunday night, and today's Monday night now, and I was gonna upload this video today, but I actually had to redo this because obviously we had huge news come out last night into today's session, and that was that Pfizer had a vaccine that was about 90% effective. Now, markets took that to the absolute stratosphere. We were up, I believe, 4.5% on SPY, and we can take a look at that right now as we dive right into it. Now, originally when I made this video, we were right around this area, right here. November 5th was the last data we had, which was from Friday. But we can see that as, November 6th. But as futures opened on November 8th, we saw a big move up, and we actually broke to some fresh highs right under all-time highs on Sunday night. Now, Sunday night, right around about 5 a.m. or so, 6 a.m., we saw a huge move up. Huge candle, and we can see a big push here. We'll measure the candle itself on the 4-hour chart here, 3.2%. And you know, futures were already up about 1% prior, 1.5% prior. So literally huge move up, 4.5%, like I said, on SPY, on ES for the S&P. Dow hit fresh highs as well. NQ also had a run, but not as much as ES, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's important to note some of these levels. So we actually did end the day, though, selling off back to pretty much those highs that we broke out of overnight. So right now, futures are still going on. We are sitting pretty much right at those highs. So whenever you see a big breakout with news, usually at one point you will come back down to retest that breakout zone. And this is an example of that, right? So right now we're sitting here at 35.47 on ES, but we will need to see how the rest of the week develops, right? We have to see if there's any more data that's going to be coming out from any of these bio companies regarding any vaccines or improvements in their trials. It is a little suspicious, right? I mean, you know, could just be the timing, of course, that right after the election, you know, this is what happens literally days after, but, you know, we won't get into that really. What I was going to say, though, the one thing that I do think is still bullish about this market, guys, is that the Senate is looking to still be Republican held. So what that means is all of these plans that Biden has, like his tax plan and some of the radical left plans that a lot of people are saying, you know, won't work or are not good for the economy or Republicans really don't like. A lot of those plans and legislations, guys, will not get approved through the Senate. So you do have to remember that and keep it in mind, because even if Joe is going to be our president, he won't be able to pass all of the things that he wants to change and undo that Trump has. So keep that in mind. And that's why I think markets will still have a nice push up. Even if there wasn't any vaccine news like we saw before, there still was a push past these highs, and we would have probably retested all-time highs either way. Now, let's get into it. Again, what will happen from here? Well, like I said, we did have a breakout, right? We had a move down, we retested these highs, we kind of consolidated around, we bounced up, and then now we're coming back to retrace to them right around 35.50, right? And what we can see is probably another move up, and we'd want to see some consolidation around this zone before another move up, another wave up. But what can we see? Well, we do have a clear trend line here now, right? Where we probably could see, again, this is where we come back to retest this breakout zone right around 35.40 or so, right? So I would like to see some consolidation at these levels before another move higher. Now, keep in mind, a lot of these moves higher were driven by some of the stocks like cruise lines, airlines, ticketing companies, malls, etc. So a lot of the industrials and a lot of retail places were the ones that were pumping the market up. Tech was actually taking a pretty big beating. Amazon was down in the beginning of the day. We can take a look at here. Amazon was down on this news. Why? Well, a lot of people will be shopping now. If there is a vaccine coming and things are clearing up, they will be going back to their local stores. Local stores will be opening up. They'll be going to some of the other chains in person, Walmart, Kohl's, places public, right? Rather than just shopping online. So that is something to keep in mind. Remember, tech has had its run. Also, I think there was a shift in sectors. So again, a lot of this institutional money probably flowed out of tech and into some of the industrials, as well as some of these transportation stocks, etc. So again, we look at the Qs, right? We did see a big move up, nothing crazy though, right? Just pretty much also broke a little bit out of the highs. Didn't break to all-time highs like ES did, right? But we did see a deeper retracement back down. So something to keep in mind, something to keep an eye out for would be a breakdown, because from here on tech, we still have a slow move up recently, right? A little bit of a slow grind up the past few days with some consolidation, obviously, but we kind of haven't really broken back down into a downtrend, right? We had a little bit of a retracement, but we actually made a higher low here, right? We still didn't make fresh lows. Anywhere below this trend line, I will see us going back to retest these lows right around this chop block zone as well, around 260, right? So we can look for that on the Qs. This is again same thing as NASDAQ, ETF, QQQ. So if you do see a breakdown of this trend line here, then I will expect some blood. So if we'll either do something like this and we'll continue higher. Otherwise, what I'd expect is something, like a breakdown, maybe a back test here, break back down, bounce around this zone, and then a fresh dump back to these lows. So that can happen over this month, maybe sooner than later. Really depends on what's going to happen, but again, there were a lot of reports. Be wary of some of these vaccines that are coming out. Doesn't mean that they necessarily work, just some of the trials. And again, people are always going to be optimistic when they report on these trials, and whenever there is drug news, the market seems to take it very, very well at the beginning and then has a sell-off kind of like we saw today. Most stocks still up, 15%, 10%, some of them individually. Indexes still up about 1% or 2%. Again, just tech really taking a hit. But besides that, guys, I think we still are going to be leaning bullish on the market so far. But again, just watch these trend lines, watch a couple scenarios that could possibly play out here. Watch these previous resistance zones that are now turned support. And again, protect your capital. Don't do anything crazy. Don't take this as a buy signal, right? Even though you see stocks up huge now, it doesn't mean to chase, right? The worst thing you can do is really buy into greed. You don't want to buy into greed, guys. You want to play the markets and play what the charts are giving you guys day in and day out, especially during these times, or else you're going to get caught. And when you get caught, it's going to be rough. You don't want to be buying tops, selling lows. That's just not what you want to do. So keep in mind all of these areas of support. Again, we have one now at around 35.40, right? If we do break down from here, we have another area to watch out for again, which would be right around 34.30. If we take a fib pull now from the swing lows to swing highs, right? That would be right above our golden pocket. So again, look in this zone right around 3370 to 3400 or so. I would probably start laddering here and then ladder into the GP zone right around here also, right? So right around 33.70 or so. But this is where I would look to take some longs. Again, that's if we don't shut back down, if there isn't any bad news coming back out. But for right now, guys, I think everyone should pretty much take it day by day still. Don't pull any triggers that you aren't willing to take risk on, okay? And that's it for me. If you guys have any suggestions, what do you guys think is going to happen in the market the next couple weeks? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We will do a recap at the end of the week just to go over everything and see where we end up. Cheers.